Game number 2, Toby, Josa, the mics are yours.
Thank you very much, Sam. We have game number 2 on the way now, and a relatively chilled out plane path, roughly 2 o'clock to 8 o'clock across the center of the map. Toby looking pretty chill once again, but in our experience, a neutral plane path doesn't mean a calm game.
Oh no, believe me. I mean, the more kind of player friendly the plane paths tend to be, that more brutal are the circles usually. Having said that, last game gave us kind of both a simple plane path and a simple circle, at least to start off with. Phase 3, that hard shift southwest was brutal, I'm not gonna lie, and despite that, a lot of teams actually came out all right, everything considered. But here, I mean, it's once again one of those where everyone can go where they want. We probably won't see any early fights over anything. Maybe
Três equipes aí, Los Leones, cara.
2.5 teams down in the area of Los Leones, but again, I mean, they've been down there plenty of times at this point already, so no confrontations as we like to see it.
A Navi, ela mudou de spot. Ela corria Porto Paraíso e algumas vezes Vale del Mar. Eu lembro, né, nas outras PCS. Nessa PCS eles ficam com Graveyard e Minas Generales. Tá tendo treta ali. Ah, o Nailop tá morto. Não, até que não. Até que ele conseguiu se salvar. Ele tem cara de algo. Nossa senhora, velho. Que safe é essa, velho? Tem uma aqui lá bendita. Essa safe vai ficar pra baixo. Vai shiftar pra baixo. Vai shiftar pra baixo. Ela tem 2 pontos pra fechar. Onde é que tá o Tixo? E lá em cima onde é que tava o coisa, mano. Que agora eles vão pra treta. Depois eu mostro. Acho que eles vão mostrar a safe de novo. Vamos ver.
And don't forget, this is the 5 stack, so Slippy Zerg essentially has a, especially if he goes up on the roof, which is a bit more dangerous because you can get someone firing from the rocks nearby, you essentially have a staircase to deal with, right? So it is actually possible to defend this. Footballists, they're right to aggress. It's a 3v1, but you also have to bear in mind it's a dangerous situation as well, because one guy with a shotgun, oh wait, that's the guy on the roof, can spoil your day.
Yep, Slibby hops up on the roof, not wanting to be taken down. You can see Medbay and Mer actually making their way down in this direction. They do not have vehicles, so it's going to take them a bit longer, but I'm liking this position from him. I'm liking the fact that he's up to set up here. Gluttony is far east of here, not really a factor in this right now, so all the opponents from Footballists are inside the compound. Now Lyron peeks on out. Will he spot Slibby? Slibby ain't really peeking in that direction right now. Flash comes out. Out goes one. No knocks coming in first, and Medbay is on the other side. Oh,
Caramba, Reg jogou bem.
Once you jump out that window and you get knocked, there's no getting back in. So Lyron falls. Footballist Odin down to low HP, and this setup, I mean, considering how they, like, neither team really wanted this to begin with, what Reg has done with it, I think is very impressive. Slibby playing the only spot he can where he has the upper hand, and the Medbay's position in that situation there, perfect as well.
I'm going to be a little bit critical. If footballists know that their target has gone up on the roof, they should have asked Gluttony to have a sight on the roof, because imagine you have someone off in the distance with a DMR able to stop you from having free reign on the roof. That changes the whole dynamic of the situation, and it makes it super easy for footballers. So the fact that they didn't have that with Gluttony and still tried to push out anyway, that was dangerous, man.
I want to call it impatience, but at the same time, I understand where footballists are coming from, because they know. I mean, okay, we were not fast enough. They're like, the Regnum is going to be coming, so we want to deal with this before it's too late. But now, I mean, as we see, it's just not going their way. Had they waited those extra couple of seconds, and as you were saying, correctly stated, so allowing for Gluttony to get the angle on the roof, Slibby would have been taken down with ease, and that would have been a whole other game. But now, Gluttony having to try and see if he can assist. They didn't manage to get the rest onto Odin either, so currently it's a 2v4.
I don't know to what extent the analyst desk might disagree with me here, but I would say if Gluttony at the start of this fight was where he is now, easy win for footballers. They would have been able to get that 1 kill and then just hold the 5 stack and work it out from there. But now it's turning into a little bit of a nightmare. Regnum Karya, they're flowing in. There's really not much Gluttony can do. I don't think he wants to push in here. He's completely isolated from Nail Cup. And
there's no
now that they're inside the building, what can Gluttony do?
Nothing. Essentially, there is. I mean, unless if it ups the push down and help. But also, I want to say, I mean, we just saw how hard it was for footballers to push these stairs. with all of them being in here now, there is a world. He's gonna do the exact same thing as Slippy just did. I was just gonna say, there is a world where the tides turn right after the tides have just turned. I mean, he is doing exactly what Slippy just did. The issue is Medibay is on the other side, and now they know he's on the roof.
Okay, so at least they have someone watching, which is going to be so important. We've also got a TBS, though. It's a TBS. Don't do this. Oh, guys, we were talking about this. Oh, my God.
3. He fights all of them, and Medibay is on the other side.
Meu Deus.
Oh, my God. Wow. Okay.
This is...
Ai, velho.
There's so much irony in play here. The fact that Slippy, as a solo, did this, knew what to do. We said that with what they were given, they did exactly the right thing. And the fact that they then die to that exact same play, that is not something you see.
Aqui, ó.
No,
Ó,
it's really...
a safe tem tanto como puxar pra cima nessa safe aqui, puxando pra tiara bonk, fechando pra cima de azar, como pra baixo lá, velho.
Absolutely all in on making the same mistake yourself. That was wild. I'm not gonna lie. That was a very interesting start here to match 7.
The food would be flying all over the place with how fast those tables were turning, because that was, I mean, that was happening back to back essentially, and somehow, somehow, Footballers is the team to come out on top of that. I saw that happening initially, then I didn't, then I did, then I didn't, and then they didn't. So. Impressive.
It was really cool the first time. We get to talk about it, analyze the play, explain what's wrong and why, and we got to see it play out. I just didn't realize someone hit the instant replay button.
No, that's. I mean, usually we say, okay, they gotta prep for tomorrow, you know, gotta see what the opponents did that worked, and then they gotta come back and do that. Footballers did that like 4 seconds later, and and one thing is that Footballers made the same play. Again, in my opinion, with that building in particular, when you're kind of outnumbered, that is the only play to make. So I'm not surprised by the fact that they do it. The fact that Regnum aren't. I mean, because they were prepared for it. It's just there's a bad situation to be in. Now, well, speaking of bad situations to be in, you don't want to get caught off guard, and that's exactly what just happened to Team Liquid, trying to rotate way on forward. But Clip gets taken out of the car. Jeans does get to stay alive, but now Millman, as a matter of fact, Navi player coming to help out Team Liquid a little bit here.
So similar to what we talked about yesterday, halfway through the day, guys, because we have this circle, there's probably about 1/3 of the circle that's unplayable area. We're getting what is essentially an accelerated circle where the teams are jockeying to be in phase 2 or phase 3 rather than phase 1. And as a result, they're really, really packed together in the middle of the circle. We're going to get more people than usual dying as a result. But it's also probable that phase 2, once it shifts away from water, which might not be phase 2, but could be, ends up being very quiet as a result. So expect the start of the game to be a bit more spicy, and we will get a quiet period a little bit later on.
I must admit that I'm surprised to see how far up Liquid opted to go, but the issue is with that area of the map in particular, when you come in from the south, like up until the point where you are where Liquid ended up going down, like this was perfectly positioned by Entropic, because the way that Liquid comes into this, because you're going uphill the way that they did there, they have no way of scouting it, no way at all of knowing what's waiting for them up on that hillside. So for Entropic to be in that exact spot, it's the only real place on that east coast you could do a proper, like, unscoutable roadblock from, and they set it up perfectly. So kudos to Entropic, but I'm again a little surprised that Liquid opted to go that deep in the circle, considering how late they were coming in.
Bear in mind as well, Entropic will have to rotate a little further later on in the game because they are one of the teams that are closest to the beach. So yes, they're going to get some kills. Yes, they have a good roadblock set up now, but they also have a little bit more work to do later as well. So it'll be interesting to see what their rotation pattern looks like.
Let's see. T-Bone opting to go north of the Death Valley here, not wanting any piece of Team Rage, who's currently in the compound down below. They have shot earlier, so I'm pretty convinced that Heroic is well aware that there's a team in the neighboring compound.
Eu falei que ia fechar tipo ou pra cima aqui, aqui ou aqui. Vai fechar pra Junkyard e vai fechar nesse vale aqui, ó. Ó, aqui pra, ó, nessa região aqui, ó. Vai fechar. E vamos que vamos, tá ligado? Ela podia puxar tanto pra cá, ó, nessa região aberta, ó, pegava a ponta aqui, trazia a ponta pra tirar a bronca, essa ponta pra cá, ó. Ela ficava esse círculo. Mas não, ela, ó, tá vendo? Ela tirou daqui, que esse círculo não jogava pra cá, pra puxar pra lá e depois vai puxar pra lá. E é isso.
So now everything's gonna go crazy. But no, I would agree with you that on paper, when we look at this right now, because there are already so many teams inside the circle, I wouldn't expect to see a whole lot of commotion. But then again, I mean, we've been surprised before, where we thought everything was all calm and nice and dandy, and then all of a sudden, it turned out not to be. For example, here, FX, unfortunately, heading a fence that he couldn't quite get through.
Quase.
Forced out of the vehicle, and now Liquid, I mean, Liquid already lost Diggory earlier, so, or Liquid, sorry, FaZe Clan already lost Diggory earlier, so forced to take this fight now. That being unless Skate opts to get away from there.
They've got both options open to them at the moment. I don't think Skate want to move just yet. Like, cities, again, always easy to get into, really difficult to get out of.
Yeah.
There is a chance it moves north. I feel like they hold, I think they hold tight.
The issue is Skate is sitting in a wide two-way split, and it's so wide. I mean, while it might not be that far of a distance, there are still so many buildings in between them that they can't really do anything to cover one another should the other kind of half of your team get engaged upon. So I like the fact that Skate didn't overcommit, but now just kind of accept the fact that there's a team sitting in between them, which will make them regrouping that much harder, but we'll see how they opt to work with it.
Oh, Hibako having a think and deciding to turn away. Paige being very, very quiet here. Obviously a little bit split from the rest of the team, waiting for Corexi to even get into circle. So really, this is just information gathering unless he gets a sure knock, which is completely fine.
Exactly. No reason to risk anything here when you aren't with your teammates. Corexi is still on the car, not really in a position to help, and T-Bone and Beamy both still on the other side of the road. So yes, as you were saying, even if you do get knocked, if 3 people come pulling up as a result of it and you go down, well, that guy you knocked is going to get back on his feet and you will have lost a player. So smart and good trigger discipline from Paige there. And Double, now obviously, I mean, considering the fact that he didn't fire, Double has no clue that everything he does in this position is very exposed to Paige position.
Luca Rook's there.
Speaking of trigger discipline.
Oh, he wants it. He wants the car to stop, but no, that was the right thing to do there. Mixie's very close by as well, but neither of them spotted at the moment. Team Liquid don't really want another run-in with Entropic until they have full scouting information and know exactly where they are. Vive now very much on the low ground underneath.
Yeah, Lucarux is playing the role of kind of sensor beacon, just info gatherer, as you were saying, for his team. Don't take fights, just tell the rest of your team exactly what's happening around you. Him, and in the meantime, trying to get back to safety. He's been kind of all over the place so far. He started by, I mean, he tried to regroup with his teammates, but then he was not allowed to because of where Entropic was positioned. So he had to go all the way back out east. And now, fortunately, he's been able to get back to his teammates. But it took quite a while for him to get there. Let's see now. Is the circle going to benefit Sakura Sanson, or where are we going? Nope, quite the contrary. We're headed west.
Olha lá. Olha lá. A Safe me trollando. Eu falei que ela ia fechar pra cá. Ei, ela vai puxar pra cá. Nossa senhora. Vamos que
Both
vamos.
sides.
E a tinha ligadinho de lobby.
They're getting the gas station now, but if you're in the middle and you need to go up either side, you're in for a world of hurt. This is a really interesting part of the map.
I can't help but think that we're getting a northern hard shift here after this, which would be
I think it's going to be on the road, right?
Terrible.
It'll be
it would have to be west to some extent because of the hillside down south of FaZe Clan, but I just feel like that mountain is so big that there's no way that at least parts of it won't be inside the circle. And if that's the case, well, we could pretty much go anywhere. So everyone get excited for phase 4. I'm curious to see how many teams are going to just say, you know what, we're not even going to bother trying to math this one. Let's just send it into Al-Azhar and play, like, just say, we'll play from there. We hope the circles go there. Having to get out from there, we know it's going to be hard. No one's done it yet, but I feel like Skate and FaZe will not be the only 2 teams inside Al-Azhar by the end of the circle.
I'm inclined to agree with you. This is, it's interesting.
That's the first one.
There we go. Entropic instantly right on cue, Toby. Absolutely spot on there. But keeping to the outskirts of Al-Azhar. So they want to come in such a way that they can keep the vehicles safe. There's a very easy avenue of escape up to the north. Oh, whoa. And Lucarux, well, we'll just pretend that didn't happen.
No harm done. We didn't see anything in the kill feed, so therefore there was no...
Yeah, therefore it was fine.
Nothing happened, right? Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah.
All is good, all is calm. I mean,
Worst things happen at sea.
For Thunder right now, they're playing a 2-2 split in probably the most favorable position in this circle right now. I don't want to say I wanted to see them play a 3-1 split and only have one in the compound, but I'm going to put it this way. They have to be very ready to rotate come as soon as, maybe even before the next circle pops, because if that goes north, they cannot maintain that 2-way split, and I think they're very well aware of that.
Road to glory here. We've got 3 vehicles and someone sending up smoke signals. So having the last car in your convoy being the one on the lowest hit point can be a little bit tricky, but I think they're nearing their destination here. They're happy to live relatively close to where FaZe Clan are. Vard from Team Liquid, the only surviving member here, unfortunately might get in the way of both of them. So he wants to take a look and get a bit of scouting info, but realistically, he doesn't want to get involved until they fight.
Vard is gonna get me so many fantasy points. I can feel it. He's either he's gonna win the game or he's just gonna he's gonna pop off soon. As soon as Road to Glory goes back down the hillside, which they will, even though that would make no sense, then Vard is just gonna stand up on the ridge, shoot at everyone in the city, and get like 10 kills. I'm excited for it.
Yep.
That is what's gonna happen.
That's the voice of desperation from someone who has 2 members of Team Liquid. I can hear Martin.
A gente teve uma safe parecida na PUBG Américas, cara. Na PCS Américas, perdão. A safe fechou idêntico aqui, ó. E aí acho que o Kill tava aqui, se eu não me engano. E aqui em cima tinha outra equipe, mas eu não lembro qual que era agora. Só sei que ficou shoot to kill contra essa equipe. E a shoot to kill tava muito, tipo assim, muito mal posicionada, porque eles tiveram que subir esse muro desse posto de gasolina para lá, e acabou que eles perderam, tá ligado? Mas fazer o que? Foi, mano, foi um jogaço, velho. Foi literalmente um jogão, velho. Sabe? Tinha uma outra save que fechou parecida ali, que foi com a Wolf. A Wolf tava, tipo, num compound, igualzinho ali, só que um pouco mais para trás do posto de gasolina. A safe fechou exatamente ali, e acabou que a Wolf foi a vencedora daquele jogo. E a... Putz, como é que era o nome da equipe, velho? Agora eu não sei, tá na ponta da língua. Era a equipe do... Como é que era o nome? É que parece igual a do Northern Lights, tá ligado? Mas não, é... Putz, agora me esqueci o nome da equipe, mas também, velho. Eita, por o bug lá, velho.
Be there to fight the third as well. Navi butchered in seconds by Entropic. Yes, there was a impact by Ents from behind, kind of forcing Navi to push further forward, but Entropic knew exactly how to respond to that push.
Really well played there. Nail up, the only player to get knocked, and that was a very impressive spray. I think by example, if I remember correctly, but that was about the high point in that fight. It all went downhill from there for Navi, and now Entropic really taking control of this hill. BBL in rotation, Ents shooting them as well. They're competing for the point. Ents is going to get the first one, and Ketber at the moment feels like he's in the middle in a tug of war.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get out of that one live. No way. That's gonna happen. 2 falls, third should fall in just a second. There you go. Smash falls down, and Entropic harvesting here. Only in phase 4, and they're gonna get to kill number 8. There we go. 8 kills already with 40 people still alive. Make that 9.
An important question that we needed to ask going into today. Entropic, yes, they won day number 1, but were they going to keep the momentum going into day 2? This is a statement of intent from them here in match number 7. They're doing very, very well indeed. Even if they went out right now, their point total from this game is excellent, and I have no doubt they're about to get more.
Nossa, safe igualzinha, velho.
They've been doing this both in the previous game and this one is working out very well for them. They allowed for Sakura's answer to make the aggressive push on over. They say, you know what, you go take the fight. We are all for that. Now they can come up, they take out Sakura's hands, and now they can take the fight to how.
This next shift of the circle, by the way, is a 2 o'clock hard shift back towards Al-Azhar. So the valley is very much back in. We were talking about earlier how we see loads of games have the 2 sort of cliff edges and the valley in the middle. Well, it's now statistically, I would argue, back on. So we'll wait and see what that happens. A lot of these teams down south are now going to have to rotate out. Entropic are in a great position because they can choose to move up north and fight base, or they can choose to go south and pick things off. And that's Squeaky added to the tally.
Don't jump, Squeaky, because QP hits those. Holy moly, the way that he just tracked him down there mid-air. Very impressive. Nail up as well.
O Lucaruso só vai rushando. Caralho, o bicho tá nervoso.
Entropic are just on another level right now. Till kill number 10. No casualties so far as they push further forward.
Continuing to look for dead. Road to Glory with the flashbangs. That's a great flashbang, but he wasn't alive for the follow-up, unfortunately. And that is Road to Glory eliminated. We're now into our top 10.
Look at this. They barely even get to reload before they already find 2 1s. Yes, they knew that Squeaky was knocked down there before, but the fact they can take an up-close fight to one team to then just turn on a dime and instantly find 2 from ends right after, that is incredibly impressive. Takes a solo player left alive, but Footballist, if they have a saying in this, he probably won't be alive for much longer. He's pushing up on the backside, but again, Nail Cup, making it hard for Tixus to really get anything going whatsoever.
And now they know Tixu's there. They heard the flashbang. QB's going to be ready for this. Little bit tense, but if he peeks up above, we have got Nailup and Lucarux providing DMR cover. You can see them with the DMRs out, and QB ends it prematurely with an 8 to the face.
I like the fact that not only does Nail Cup help them, but he also gets taken down from his
Esse Entropic tá... Meu Deus, tá muito estranho.
We don't need your help, so they take him out, then they get the second kill on Tixu. And once again, I mean, Entropic
14 kills,
they had a 16 kill win followed by a 12 kill second place. If they get something just barely similar going today, 14 kills already, still with 25 alive, this is going to be a very good day for them. Make that 15 kills and look at the spread on them. Everyone participating in the killing.
Really nice stuff there. And Footballist eliminated, so we're not going to be able to cast or direct him at who we're going to third party there. That was delightful stuff. We have a replay here of it's the Mad versus Pixling. Delightful flick headshot there. We had some of these sprays be absolutely on point. You're visible to them for a second, and that's ruined down as well. Skade showing some moves of their own.
Heroic. In the meantime, they've been able to play it a little bit more quiet on the western side up until this point, but now Skate, okay, going in vehicles. Ballsy play with Heroic right next door. Let's see, the aggressive play comes up. They come pushing on over. Do they get over the hilltop in time? Yes, just exactly. Beamy not able to make the spray there. So Skate allowed to get down inside the compound, but they're still far outside the circle, which is 35 seconds until it starts closing in.
Very interesting stuff. So they choose to move into Al Azahar, even though it's outside of circle, and thinks that this is their best chance of getting in, and they're gonna have to fight building to building with only the very edge of Al Azahar in. They made that calculated move, and they went, look, this is better than fighting Heroic face to face. I don't know to what extent I agree. This is gonna be tough for them, man.
This was their only play, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, they had Heroic pushing on up, and they every single time they tried to peek up in their direction, because Entropic were so fast in dealing with the southern side, they would get shot in the back whenever they went back to heal. So I think they made the right play. It's not a spot you want to be in, but it's the only place that you're guaranteed survival, at least for now. So Prolong again, disengage, live to fight another day. Nail up again, doesn't hit those double headshot, comes through, Page falls down. Fortunately, just down below the ridge, so there should be a rest coming in.
I think they're almost like the two people as far apart as you can possibly get in this zone, and then Nailup just squares them up and goes, thanks for the double tap. That is disgusting. That guy is on fire right now. Let's watch Skade and their shenanigans in Al Azahar. Will this pay off for them? They've got vehicles, but the circle's closing in. Evas looking for the headshot out of the car. He's got a few hits, but no headshots yet.
Entropic really on a whole other level right now. They had a hard time playing winner chicken dinner format because they got all the kills they needed every single time. The wins weren't always there though, but now that we're back in super settings, we're seeing how much they're thriving. They're so aggressive, they're so talented mechanically, and they're showing up here.
Nossa.
And using the floor of the car to block the bullets once again. Heroic taking a page out of our rulebook. Unfortunately, needs to get the kill before the car does there, and Double manages to take home the point.
Not opting to shoot for the second, allowing them to get over the hillside. Correxi falls down and trying to get to safety. Not gonna happen for Double though. That fence was only gonna grant him cover for so long. Nailup finds one more as well, as if Entropic doesn't have enough kills already.
Right.
Was that stat just from this game? Was he at 800
I think that's
damage
just from this game
already?
I think so.
Already 800. He's going to be breaking into the 1K club very soon because look at the amount of space he has and he fights. Now he can smoke too.
Luca Rook's coming in to try and help. While Nail-Up is healing, I feel like they just need to buy him a bit of time so that he can heal and continue to do a ridiculous amount of damage. He might even be on 1K already. Not a lot of room for Skade to maneuver behind that container and nowhere else for them to go. Gustav knows that. Double kill with the nade. Thank you very much.
Quase que ele pega triple kill.
Said that Jimty was the master of salvaging more points by just chilling whenever his teammates were dead. I must say that this time around, I don't see a way that Jimty gets to cross that street. Nate's now lobbing in as well. First one not gonna get him. Second one was never thrown in the first place. So Jimty does get to stay alive. Smoke's still available, but let's see now. NLT, they've been able to use the gas station for cover for a while, but now they have to make a play.
Opa! Pegou o Scorpion.
They have the utility available, and wow, okay. They have the utility of Team Rage as well, by the looks of things. Let's find out if they can continue to push further up. They have the gas station for so long, and as a result, their utility is more or less untouched. Perfectix needs to heal, but they're doing a good job of moving up. And if they get a leg up onto this cliff edge, honestly, Toby, I think they're going to be able to dominate because there's no one behind to backstab them.
I like the way this approach is only sending 2 over initially to make space, and also if that kind of baited Team Rage into going aggressive, thinking that all had pushed, then maybe they Spiro and Batulins could catch some off guard as they make an aggressive play forward. But now, of course, with the circle closing in, they all need to make that play, and I honestly think taking the fight to Team Rage here is the only play, because if they're lucky, then Entropic is going to engage in Team Rage from behind as well. Let's see now, Jemty, the impossible transition. Does he get to cross the road or not? My money's on no with that nade. We'll make that a molly coming in as well. It's looking ever that much harder. Half the server is shooting at Jemty. Now he's in the molly too. Blue is going to take him out as well. Not going to have him. Down he goes. Unfortunately, he's going to go down to Blue, not giving points away to me.
That was, I mean, literally, if you looked up bullying in the dictionary, I'm pretty sure you're going to see Jemty in this game alongside as a definition there. That was rough. FaZe Clan now turning their attention to Entropic, who are lobbing an awful lot of utility their way, very close to a double knock on AT and Fex there. I don't know if Entropic realized how close they were to getting 2 knocks at once. We've got Entropic with all 4, Northern Lights also with 4 up, Team Rage and FaZe both as a trio.
Entropic has to be careful. I'm loving what we're seeing on the minimap right now. The fact that Nailab and Ivers push out of this one. They had the center of the circle. They knew there was space to maneuver, but they also realized, wait, FaZe is coming up on one side. We've allowed Northern Lights in on the other. We cannot sit this split. So the fact that they all back up the hill, smart play, and even at the loss of Lucarooks, I think it was the right decision to make. Because if they all went downhill, they would have been in trouble. Now Nailab sprays on over, finds the first. No way, FaZe can
Meu Batulins do céu, Batulins do céu,
well, helping out Entropic in allowing what I would suppose to be
Não creio, velho, não, meu Deus do céu, velho, ele pinou todos os tiros, velho. Cara, ele pinou todos os tiros em 2 caras de lado, velho. Ah, não, mano. Sabe, Gabriel Monetti, como é que você tá, meu querido? Boa tarde, velho, boa tarde. Mano do céu, eu não vi isso, cara. Ele pinou todos os tiros, velho, todos os tiros, cara.
Nailab finding a double once more. There is no stopping Entropic right now. Be that maybe a kind of team up from FaZe and Northern Lights. They know they need to deal with them. 19 kills for Entropic in this game already, and they're still up and alive with 2.
That is insane.
Entropic tá...
2 players left alive. Okay, Northern Lights are the only team.
Entropic tá... Meu Deus, tá com 19 kills, cara. É muita coisa, velho. É muita coisa, tá, porra? Eu tô bem, tudo de boa, mano, de boa. Queria ter feito live hoje de manhã, mas não deu, velho. Infelizmente não deu. Daí, cara, vamos que vamos. Tô configurando outro PC. Hoje à tarde eu vou terminar, né, de configurar mais um pouquinho. E aí amanhã eu acho que eu já faço livezinha com outro PC, né? 720p, GG, tá ligado? E vamos que vamos. Daí... Mês que vem já é amanhã já é mês que vem, então dia 5 tem a season do Path of Exile, né, apresentação. Nossa, fez encontrando Northern Lights. E GG, né, vamos ver o que vai ser feito. Nossa, os caras estão dando ponto.